Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Ned Reynolds back together on Friday. Hopefully this is the last time we got to do it this way. Next week, I'm buying you a drink in the studio. Ned Reynolds this morning, and we've got probably the biggest Red Friday of the season. Chiefs host the AFC Championship game for the fourth time in a row. First time that's ever been done in the NFL as far as at their home turf. And I've got my red on. I know it's early, but hopefully you got your red on. How are the Chiefs looking injury-wise, Ned, going into this game?
First of all, I accept that drink.
Okay. Oh yeah. Like you'd tell me no. I think the whole world knew you were nodding your head yes. He still is.
yeah. On this remote viewer, you can see me. I'm nodding.
Yeah, he's definitely nodding yes.
Anyway, it looks like the Chiefs are at very good strength. The Tyrann Mathieu did practice yesterday, so did Rashad Fenton, and that really has to bode well. The Chiefs need those guys in the defensive backfield. The Chiefs are really, person for person, a better team than the Cincinnati Bengals, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs are the better team in the NFL than anybody else. But you never can tell what will happen in a football game, and with the high-powered, explosive team that the Bengals are, there can be problems, but the game is at home. The Chiefs are a 7.5-point favorite. Over-under is about 54. So the money guys are thinking it'll be a pretty high-scoring game. But yes, I think the Chiefs are at full strength and ready to go.
That's what I want to hear, and we're going to need everyone we absolutely can get on that field to leave it all on the field on Sunday afternoon at Arrowhead. Now, let's switch gears here for a second, and there were some announcements yesterday. It was pretty quick. I mean, considering the fact that we're still in the regular or postseason, two teams have announced they have hired new head coaches. Who are they, and where are they working?
This is the first one I find to be extremely interesting. It's Nathaniel Hackett. He is going to the Denver Broncos as their new head coach. Who is Nathaniel Hackett? Well, he happened to be the offensive coordinator with the Green Bay Packers. Whoa, now wait just a minute. Does that mean that maybe Aaron Rodgers might be considering a shift in teams? You know, he has that option. He can do that. The Packers gave him that option last year. And now here's his offensive coach going to Denver. That's a team that I predicted that Aaron would go to. Well, we'll wait and see what happens, but certainly one who is going is Nathaniel Hackett. He is the Broncos' new coach. The other one is Matt Eberflus. He is going to be the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Mr. Eberflus had been the defensive coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts. So the Bears do need some help defensively. They need a lot of help, as a matter of fact, but over and above that, we'll see what happens with the front office decisions to be made here. Denver and Chicago get new coaches. There are still vacancies out there, including the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their choice is going to be extremely interesting.
Some new blood in the coaches pool, which is nice to see. I've got several buddies that are Bears fans, and I think I saw them post with the question mark, who? After they announced that yesterday. But you never know, man. You gotta try something, and really some teams can only go up, so we'll see what happens. Back to the Chiefs and the Bengals this Sunday. The last time the Chiefs faced the Bengals, obviously we got the L, and Joe Burrow had one hell of a game with at least one other receiver. What was his numbers in that game, Ed?
Burrow's numbers were unbelievable, as a matter of fact, and it was the day after New Year's, January 2nd, when they played over in Cincinnati. 446 yards against the Chiefs, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times. When the game last week against the Tennessee Titans, Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. That's an all-time record, and still won the game. Well, he does have, he being Burrow, a really good core of receivers. Jamar Chase is really among them. He's a top-level receiver, and he was Burrow's teammate at LSU, so they have a connection. He caught 11 passes against the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs were a little bit compromised at that time, you might remember. I think so. That may be a little bit misleading. And the Chiefs themselves had a 28-14 lead at the half in that game in Cincinnati, and then just went dormant for some reason. Mahomes only had 259 yards in passing with a couple of touchdowns. I don't think that's going to happen this time, Joe, or Mike, I should say. It is an altogether different level here. This is the championship, the AFC title game. The Bengals haven't been there since 1988. As you mentioned earlier, Mike, this is the Chiefs' fourth consecutive bid for an AFC title. That's pretty good. They have the experience. They have basically all the same players. I think Kansas City has a very big game coming up on Sunday.
I agree with you there, 110%. It has to be that way. The other thing, there was a couple stats that came out yesterday. One that was very, very interesting, and that was Patrick Mahomes' heart rate during that last drive. Did you see that? That is just unbelievable. The other stat that I saw that I thought was just unreal was when the Chiefs are like a 5% chance of winning. Their record is unbelievable against the league's record of like a 1-38. The Chiefs are like in the winning column. So the kids know it. You've heard the stories all week of these little kids that are saying that clock doesn't say 0 yet. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter with the Chiefs. As long as there's time, there's always a way. Internet Ned and Mike the Intern back in the studio this morning to talk sports. We did have a couple local college games yesterday. Is that right, Ned? Did we get dubs?
We did, and both got W's, and you just called it. You know you're in 2022 when it's Internet Ned. I don't even know how to spell internet. Anyway, we did have a couple of big victories. The Lady Bears, who are, even though compromised physically as far as their two of their top players being out for the year, still went into Evansville last night and just slaughtered the Evansville Lady Aces 82-35. Scored in the first quarter. Well, it was 26-10. The Lady Bears just got off to a rocket start in this game. Abby Jackson with a really big game. She was the leading scorer for the Lady Bears with 25 points. Lady Bears are now 14-4 overall and 5-2. I beg your pardon. They're 5-2 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Evansville is 1-6 in the Missouri Valley Conference and 7-11 overall. They're just really not a good team. Neither one. I don't know what's happened over there, Mike, in all honesty, with the Evansville program. The Evansville men's team, the Aces, hey, they were a national power in at small college level, yes, but also at a large level. They've been to the NCAA a number of times. They're really suffering. They're here to play the Bears tomorrow night. And the ladies' team, not a whole lot better. Their programs have suffered. Meanwhile, at the O'Reilly Family Event Center, the Lady Panthers of Drury knocked off Maryville from St. Louis 75-49. That score was 31-11 after the first quarter. And the Lady Panthers are rolling. They're getting back to really full strength, should get their leading scorer back sometime in mid-February. They're going to be a tough item to handle as the rest of the season and postseason shapes up. So we had two big victories, Lady Bears over Evansville, Drury Lady Panthers over Maryville.
Love starting a weekend off with some dubs. Ned, tell me some more winning stories. How the owners and players getting along right now? Any movement there?
Very, very limited yesterday. But then again, when they got together, the discussion on the agenda was not the big money items that have been the block. That's still being worked out. These were peripheral issues, and you knew these were probably going to be passed somewhere along the line. The little deal about the designated hitter in the National League, that looks like it's a foregone conclusion, and some of the other surrounding issues. But in terms of the big barriers between these two programs, no, that was not discussed. I think one side, the players, are perhaps waiting for another offer from the owners. We'll see what happens, but they better doggone well get something done in a hurry.
Let's hope for an early Valentine's Day gift from the owners to the players, maybe some roses or some chocolates or something. Sweeten that deal up just a little bit so we can get back to work. We are hopefully going to have a dub on Sunday. Chiefs, Bengals, AFC Championship, Arrowhead, and a lot of people going. If you are going, be safe, be loud. Make Joe Burrow regret he ever said that SEC stadiums are louder than Arrowhead Stadium. Make him regret that. If you heard anything we talked about, I'm telling you right now, make him regret that comment. Ned Talk starts at 11, right, Ned?
It does. 11 o'clock is the first, and it's a little bit out of the norm, folks, because this is a 2 o'clock kickoff. And it's 11 o'clock. We'll have our 1 hour pregame show here in town, then join one of the two networks. I'm not sure which one is first. Is it
Chiefs Radio Network is where we'll go first. They will be noon to 1. And then, as we mentioned a couple weeks ago when we talked about the possibilities, Due to NFL rights, streaming rights, all that stuff. Westwood One has the rights to broadcast the AFC Championship game, so we'll take them at 1 o'clock. We'll be with them up until post game, and then we flip back to the Chiefs Radio Network so we can listen to Mitch and all those guys after the game. So
they are the rules, folks.
Yep,
that's the way things are.
Nothing we can do about it, but hey, at least we have the game, and I will never complain about that. And it's going to be a great one, whether you're going, whether you're here with your kids or your family or whatever. Get your red on, get loud. Ned Talk starts at 11. Do not miss the most important part of the broadcast before the game.
Absolutely. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff. You're right.
And we will not be doing that on the internet. I can guarantee you that. Ned, you have a wonderful day, and go Chiefs.
Have a great weekend, man.